Well, good thing it's just preseason, Oilers fans. Don't worry. It's just preseason. It's fine. However, the fan that started the wave when the team was down 6-2 in the third period in the game in Edmonton, I will find you. I will find you. I don't know about that. I'm totally kidding. I'm kidding. The Oilers, of course, split squad matchups tonight against the Calgary Flames. They lost 6-3 at home in Edmonton. They lost 6-1 on the road in Calgary. I will have a breakdown of both. I will timestamp the home recap and the away game recap. That way, if you want to just know my thoughts on the road game or just my thoughts on the home game, of course, they're time-stamped for you while you're watching. You can skip ahead if you'd like or come back to this part of the video. And then, of course, at the end of this video, I will mention the hockey pool that I am running. It is up. It is live. There will be a link in the description of the video for you to click on. You can create your team, but I'll go over that at the end of the video. So, as I mentioned, Edmonton and Calgary split squad matchups in preseason. It's not like these games matter, and it's a good thing they don't matter because there's a lot of, well, I wouldn't say there's not a lot of concerning moments or things to talk about in Edmonton's game, but you definitely can't get down 4-5-1 in games and expect to come back and win. I thought the Oilers at home played good enough to win the game. They didn't get a couple saves. I thought Calvin Pickard looked a little shaky, and then the game on the road, I thought Edmonton played a really good first period, but Calgary completely took over after the first period. So we're going to talk about it. Of course, this is the home game recap first. So first period, Draisaitl, he sets up Podkolzin, who just missed the net. McDavid with speed is then stopped on a rush. Bouchard was buzzing early. Oilers' big guns were looking to get things started. Hyman had a good shot that was stopped. And then Noah Philp, I thought, was struggling just a little bit with puck control in his first couple shifts. But as the game went on, Noah Philp ended up playing a really good game for Edmonton. And then the Flames opened the scoring. Kuznetsov had 3 chances, and then he finally buries it to make it 1-0 for Calgary. Draisaitl line had good possession. McDavid line got a good chance. Tons of speed for Connor McDavid. I don't think McDavid understood that this was a preseason game. He came out and he looked like a man on a mission. He looked just as good as we've seen McDavid. So that's good to see. Obviously, all of these players, whether you're a veteran or a rookie, you're trying to make an impression. You're trying to get yourself into, I wouldn't say game shape, but you're getting yourself into the game. You're getting yourself into that NHL mentality. You got to be ready to go when the season starts because every game in October matters. And it was nice to see the Oilers veterans not, I would say phone it in. Not that veterans do that, but anyways, Petrov threw a strange shot towards the Flames goal. He had Noah Philp kind of crashing. He could have passed it. And Petrov, he threw this weird little backhand shovel pass towards the net. I don't really understand what Petrov was doing. Matvei Petrov has been nothing but a disappointment, and he was a very disappointing again tonight for Edmonton, which is unfortunate. Loved him in junior, but I don't know if he's that guy right now at the, I'm going to say AHL level even, because he didn't even play that great with Bakersfield last year. Draisaitl then had a great defensive play. Philp was then robbed, and then Corey Berry couldn't bury it, and then Huberdeau to Mantha on a 2-on-1 makes it 2-0 Calgary. Hoffenmeyer then got a 4-minute double minor for roughing when Mantha scored. He was caught up the ice a little bit. He was trying to get the refs to blow the whistle before Calgary went down and scored on the 2-on-1. So Flames got a power play. It was a 2-minute power play. Draisaitl and Podkolzin started on the penalty kill, which I thought was super interesting. I wasn't sure about that. And then McDavid and Nugent Hopkins were also out on the penalty kill. I was a bit surprised. It's preseason, a little bit surprised to see some of the bigger guns and their more offensive minded players out on the penalty kill, but hey, listen, I'm not part of that coaching staff. I'm not going to question things right now. Pickard then made a good save off of a Mantha one-timer at the end of the first. End of one, 2-0 Calgary. Shots were 11-9 Flames, and the expected goals 0.9 to 0.7 in favor of Calgary. Second period, the Oilers start on the penalty kill for 22 seconds. Podkolzin had an amazing chance that was stopped. Lavoie was hauled down with no call. McDavid was dangling, but fans on a couple of shots. And Lavoie then gets robbed. Podkolzin had a strong shift, but as the game went on, I found Podkolzin became a little bit more quiet, maybe a bit of fatigue playing in the, back-to-back, played last night against Winnipeg, then tonight against Calgary, but I still like Podkolzin's game a lot overall. Hyman then takes a penalty, the second power play for the Flames, and they convert. Anderson makes it 3-0 on the power play off of just an unreal one-timer, and then Coronado makes it 4-0 not long after that. That goal that Calvin Pickard gave up, he was looking shaky. Didn't like that one. You can argue that, maybe he didn't have a chance on the first 2, maybe 3, but that fourth one, that was a backbreaker to me. Philp then had a good chance that was stopped. Ekholm accidentally hits Perry in the face with the puck. Perry went down the tunnel. Don't worry, though. He ended up being okay. Brochu came in net for Calvin Pickard. Lavoie with a great chance that was stopped. And then he one-times it again, and he stopped again. Raphael Lavoie probably could have had 3 or 4 goals tonight. He had some real good looks. So that's a good sign. Hopefully he sticks around in camp a little bit longer. I'd love to see him get a bit of a deeper look and maybe even push to even make the team. McDavid was hauled down with no call. And then I don't know how Draisaitl didn't score or Clattenburg. Clattenburg and Draisaitl came in. Draisaitl shot it, missed the net. Clattenburg got a chance on the short side, and he fanned on it. It came back to Draisaitl, and it was stopped by Cooley, who played an unbelievable game in net for the Flames, by the way. Holy smokes. Cooley was crazy good. Then Hyman does end up scoring. He was set up by Connor McDavid. It was a nice secondary assist to Connor McDavid, who in my pregame report, I was like, I'm going to be honest, I don't know who that is. And I thought Connor McDavid played a great game on defense for Edmonton. I thought he was a standout in a good way. For someone that I literally had never heard of before, he made me eat some crow tonight. So I love to see that. And then Cooley made a terrific save on Lavoie once again. End of 2, 4-1 Flames. Shots 27-19 in favor of Edmonton. And the expected goals now in Edmonton's favor, 2.0 to 1.6 in favor of Edmonton. Third period, Bouchard was struggling to move the puck. Brochu had to make a good save early. Lavoie drove the net, and he was stopped, but Hoffenmeyer scores off of a Flame skate to make it 4-2. And at that moment, I was like, you know what? The Oilers have McDavid and Draisaitl and Nuge and Hyman in the lineup. Maybe they can make a comeback. But the Flames immediately got rid of any kind of thought about a comeback. Coronado made it 5-2 just 30 seconds later. Just a terrific shot from Coronado. And then Kirkland made it 6-2 for the Flames. Kemp gave it away, and then there was zero coverage for Edmonton. I thought Philip Kemp just did not have a good game on defense for Edmonton. For someone that could have possibly pushed for the number 6 or 7 D spot on this team, I didn't like Kemp's game at all tonight. And, it's tough to just single out certain players. And, at the start of the video, I'm like, yeah, it's preseason, doesn't matter. Preseason, though, you want to make yourself known. You want to make an impression. And if you're making a negative impression on the coaching staff, that's not going to help your case to make the team. Tons of zone time for the McDavid line. Clattenburg then hit the post. Flames got a 3-on-1. They didn't end up converting. And then the crowd started a wave. They were down 6-2. The Oilers, they're down 6-2. And the Oilers fans started the wave. Not sure who did it. I'm watching you. Oilers then get a power play. The top unit finally gets a look, and McDavid scores off of a great rush to make it 6-3 power play goal. And then the Oilers drew another power play. Cooley robbed Nuge, and then Brochu had a good save shorthanded on that power play. Lavoie is then robbed by Cooley. Then Lavoie hits the post after that. Lavoie had unbelievable chances and an unbelievable game by Cooley in net for Calgary. Oilers pull the goal with about a minute and a half left, down by 3. Good to get some work on the 6-on-5, honestly. I have no issues pulling the net. You're down by 3. You might as well get your 6-on-5 looks when you can. A Boosh bomb was stopped by Cooley, and then there was another one that was stopped. End of the game, 6-3 Flames. Shots 47-26 Oilers. Expected goals 3.6 to 2.8 in favor of Edmonton. Stats courtesy of Natural Stat Trick. Now, I'm not doing 3 stars tonight because the Oilers lost pretty badly, and but I will do 3 negatives and 3 positives. So my 3 positive players tonight, and I'm not talking about Draisaitl's and McDavid's. I'm going to talk about the young stars here. Raphael Lavoie, he was a positive. I liked his game a lot. He had some really good looks. Probably could have scored 3 or 4 goals, and if he keeps playing like he did, that puck's going to end up going in the net a little bit more for him, and he may make himself a case to stick around camp a little bit longer here. And then Noah Philp, who I think was actually the best Oiler tonight, and nothing against McDavid or Draisaitl or Nuge or anyone. Noah Philp playing really, really solid hockey for the second night in a row. I thought he was terrific. And like I mentioned, you're trying to make an impression with the coaching staff. Noah Philp is someone that has made a very positive impression, and he should be being considered for that 4th line center position. Noah Philp, terrific game from him. I had Podkolzin initially as my third positive player, but like I said, he started strong, and then you didn't notice him too much after about halfway through the game. The 10-minute mark of the second onward, I didn't notice Podkolzin too much, but that's a good thing because, I didn't notice him negatively or positively. Overall, good game, second half of a back-to-back. I thought Podkolzin played well, but my third positive player here is Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid on defense had a great game. He had a great stretch pass to McDavid, who set up Hyman, and overall, I liked his game. This is not someone that is going to stick around camp for a long time for Edmonton. In fact, he may be among one of the first cuts that the Oilers make, likely tomorrow or Wednesday. But it was good to see someone that I never even heard of make a positive impression, and I love that last name, so we'll see where he ends up in the future. Now, 3 negative players. Matvei Petrov, number 1 negative player for me for Edmonton. Man, like I said at the, earlier in the video, I thought Petrov had a really rough game, really tough time. No puck possession. He was making strange decisions with the puck. He's not going to the corner. He's not being physical. Very perimeter player, and someone that just hasn't turned into the player that I thought he would. I thought that was a great draft pick by the Oilers a few years ago. He lit up junior, but since, last year in Bakersfield and then this year, the Young Stars tournament, I thought he had a weak Young Stars tournament. And now, so far in preseason, haven't liked his game. Second disappointing player is Dallin Wakely, who I thought had a great Young Stars tournament. Thought he played pretty good yesterday. Not great, but pretty good. And tonight, he wasn't very noticeable. And my third negative tonight was Philip Kemp. For someone who's trying to make this team as possibly the 6th or 7th D-man, I thought Kemp did not make a good case for himself tonight, to be completely honest. Next up for the Oilers, they play Winnipeg at 7 p.m. Mountain on September 25th. That is this Wednesday, and we'll see how that game ends up going. We'll see who ends up in the lineup for the Oilers, and we'll see, who ends up getting cut after tonight. I imagine losing 6-3 at home and 6-1 on the road to Calgary will lead to quite a few cuts, and I'll be very curious to see who gets cut from Edmonton. Now, let's move on to the road game recap. Yes, we are getting to the road game recap. I just changed the scores on the screen and the stats on the left. First period, Oilers got an early power play. Arvidsson had a great deflection that was stopped, and then he was robbed from the slot. I thought Arvidsson had a great start to this game, but as it went along, again, just like a lot of players on the team in Calgary, as the game went along, they really petered out, and I'm not sure what was going on there. Obviously, Arvidsson, he's coming back from injury. Tough to expect too much from him right now, especially in preseason, so I think he'll get it going. I thought overall he played well, though. Oilers did not convert, but then they get another power play not long after. Hoffman scores almost instantly off of a great one-timer. 1-0 Edmonton power play goal. Flames then tie it just a minute later. Kadri, he made it 1-1 for the Flames. Oilers then get their third power play after some rough stuff behind the Edmonton net. Sharon Govich hit Wanner really, really hard into the boards. I thought it was borderline dirty. I'm glad the ref ended up calling it. You got to make sure that players are not hitting other players like that in preseason. Otherwise, they're going to start doing it during the regular season. So it's good to get player safety right away here. But the Oilers did not convert. They were 1 for 3 at this point. Flames didn't get a power play. Rodrigue with a great save off a one-timer. Oilers ended up making the kill. And then Kajula and Dermott almost connected together for a goal. Sam Riley had a chance in close late. Flames then drew a power play with 10 seconds left. End of the first. 1-1. Shots were 11-10 in favor of the Oilers, and the expected goals were 1.2 to 0.5 in favor of Edmonton. Yeah, the Oilers started off really good in this game. I liked their play a lot, but it was all Flames after that. Second period, Rodrigue had a couple of big saves early. Oilers then make the kill. They finished off that penalty kill that carried over from the first period. Henrique then was stopped on a breakaway, and then the Flames make it 2-1. Zary with a nice deflection in front for the Flames. Flames then get another power play, tons of chances. Rodrigue stands his ground with some big saves, and then Calgary gets a 5-on-3 for 23 seconds. Zary makes it 3-1 on the power play. Flames are really pushing the pace at this point of the game, and they never really look back. The Oilers never really managed to get a ton of zone time, a lot of sustained pressure, a lot of sustained looks. It was quite the opposite of the game that was going on in Edmonton. The game in Calgary, I thought the Oilers just really struggled at puck movement, at basic passes. The neutral zone coverage wasn't great, and defensive zone coverage was not very good either. Flames then scored to make it 4-1 after Arvidsson misses the net on a breakaway opportunity. Oilers then with a late power play, it went absolutely nowhere. They didn't even get set up in the Flame zone, I don't think. Sharon Govich then made it 5-1 late in the second. I wrote down on my notes, none of this is fun. End of 2, 5-1 Flames. Shots were 25-19 Calgary, and the expected goals 3.5 to 1.9 in favor of the Flames. And the Oilers are down 4 goals. You think they'll come out in the third period and put on, some kind of push to try and get back into it? No. The Oilers on home ice, they had almost 20 shots in the third period. The Oilers on the road in Calgary, down 5-1 heading to the third. They managed 2 shots in the third. Not very good. I did not have a lot of notes for the third period because the Oilers just weren't really doing anything. Oilers drew an early power play, but Sharon Govich made it 6-1 off a shorthanded goal. And then the Oilers, they got a 5-on-3 for 11 seconds. But I wrote that there was just no urgency on the team, on the power play. Very disappointing night for a few young stars, in my personal opinion. Not much going with 8:30 remaining. Derek Ryan was hit hard. I thought he had a really tough game for Edmonton tonight. It's tough to ask for a lot from a 39-year-old vet, but I honestly felt more bad for Ryan than sitting here analyzing or criticizing his game. He just had a rough night. There was a goal that went off of his stick. It came out in front. Calgary scored. He gets hit hard late in the third in a game that doesn't matter. And, it's tough to see. 4-on-4 for the final 2 minutes. Doesn't end up going anywhere. Nobody does anything for the final couple minutes. End of the game, 6-1 Flames. Shots were 29-21 in favor of Calgary. Expected goals by the end of the night, 4.2 to 2.1 in favor of the Flames. Now, 3 positives for Edmonton. Number 1, Ben Gleason. I thought he played a terrific game on D for the Oilers. And just like last year in preseason, he's really impressed me so far this season. And if he could find a way to get himself just a couple more games here and continue to play really well, I would have no problem with Ben Gleason as a number 7 D-man on this team. If you need to insert him into the lineup if there's an injury, I am confident that he would be able to step up and play. Sam O'Reilly, I thought, had another really good game. Obviously a little bit quieter tonight, but his line mates also were very quiet too. But overall, his overall game, I found Sam O'Reilly, he does the little things right away from the puck. He's good with his stick. He's good on the back check. He had some offensive moments. Good game from Sam O'Reilly. And then another positive for me was Matthew Savoy, taking the power play out of it. The Oilers went 1 for 6 on the power play. Savoy is a big part of that power play that was down in Calgary. They didn't do a whole lot with the power plays, but Matt Savoy at 5-on-5, I thought he played pretty well. He was making some moves. He was doing some dangles, and he has a ton of speed, a ton of skill. I like his game a lot, and we'll see how long he sticks around in camp. 3 negative players for me. Now, last night, Cam Dineen on defense for Edmonton against Winnipeg, he had a goal and an assist, and I thought he was one of the best players. Tonight, I thought he was one of Edmonton's worst players. He did not have a good game. He had a 12.3 expected goals for percentage. Not a good game from Cam Dineen. He really struggled out there. So did Josh Brown. Oh, my Lord. Can somebody tell me why the Oilers gave Josh Brown a 3-year contract? Why did they give Josh Brown a 3-year contract? This guy, I'm sorry, he's not good. He's not NHL caliber. And at this point, I don't even know if he's AHL caliber. And I don't want to be hyperbolic and overreact to a preseason loss, but I'm just going to be honest. Josh Brown is not it. Really bad game from him. And another bad game was Max Wanner from Edmonton. Again, there's a lot of players I could have picked on, but Max Wanner is someone who, I really like. I like Max Wanner a lot. Someone that I was really hoping would push for that third pairing D spot or a 7th D spot on Edmonton. He didn't show a whole lot in the Young Stars tournament to me. He played really well in that first Young Stars game, but as it went along, I think he was just exhausted. But in this game tonight, again, you're trying to make an impression. Negative impression. It doesn't look good. So we'll see. Again, this is preseason. I'm not too worried about different players, individual players. I'm not worried about the Oilers getting blown out 6-1 on the road or losing 6-3 at home. Listen, there's a process here, and Chris Knobloch, the coaching staff, they're going to get things going. They're going to figure things out, and I have no issues there. However, I think it is important to talk about certain young players who I think have been playing well and players who I think have been disappointing, and we'll see what the cuts look like Now, end of the video. Like I mentioned, I was going to talk about the hockey pool. So the guest login is just on the left there. After you log into the pool, you don't need to claim a team. You can go to the pool settings and then create one. However, the link that I leave in the description, that will bring you right to a screen. You enter your team name, you enter your email if you have to enter an email on office pools, and then you just pick your players, right? You just end up picking your players. Scoring in this hockey pool is going to be 2 points for a goal, 1 point for an assist, 5 points for a hat trick for forwards and D-men. A goalie win will be 2 points. Goalie shutout is 5 points. Goalie goal is 10 points. The prizes, first place is going to be an authentic Pro Fanatics jersey, which is valued about 600 Canadian right now. And you don't even have to be an Oilers fan, and this is completely free to enter, by the way. This is a free to enter hockey pool. This is something that I wanted to do for my community because you've all supported me so much. I want to give back, and you're allowing me to do that with all the support that you give. So I want to thank you. These are going to be the prizes. Second will be $250 cash. Third place, $100 cash. Last place will be the Wall of Shame, which is something that I'm going to have yearly, and we don't want to be on the Wall of Shame. Also, during the season, weekly pool updates. I will make sure that I am mentioning the hockey pool throughout the season, and I will be mentioning this hockey pool every single week leading up to the start of the season, every single day that I make a video, because I want a lot of people in here, right? We're going to have a lot of fun with it, and I'm excited for the future of the channel. I'm excited for, some fantasy hockey, and we'll continue to get things going here. Now, with that all out of the way, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. This is a one-taker, over 20 minutes long. I haven't done a video that's like 20 minutes long since the playoffs, those day after discussions. I'm probably going to do a day after discussion video tomorrow discussing the 3 games that Edmonton played, players who I think will be cut. We'll see if there's any cuts either tonight or first thing in the morning. If there are, I will have a news video update for you. If you enjoyed tonight's video, make sure you hit that like button. If you really liked it, make sure to subscribe if you are not yet subscribed to the channel. Like I mentioned, we're building a terrific community here in the 2024-25 season. I've only been doing this for not even a year. It's been 10 months. I'm excited for everything that's coming this year for Edmonton. I'm excited for the actual season to get going here. And, before you go, tell someone that you love them. Okay, I guess before I go, I don't know where you're going. Maybe you're going somewhere too. In any case, tell someone that you love them. Fight like a kid. Fight like Ben. As always, I love you, Oil Country. We'll see you soon. Take care.